Greetings, my dear Leo. Welcome to my channel. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Happy birthday, if and when. Also, welcome to the Lion's Gate, which shall be opening, I believe, August 6th. The mouth should be approaching and widening around August 2nd. Please take that with credence, as of course it is going to be affecting you where we have Leo placements. So check your ascendant, and the houses that follow that area of life should be affected properly. Meaning that there's a certain degree of a view or a paradigm that should be self-empowering, and also with the mouth of the lion, there's a certain roar, a quality to it tied to the energy of Sirius. So yeah, please be aware of that. So, when it comes to the energy of you and your significant other, I will be using the appearances that show up in the Great Mirror. The Great Mirror is a magical tool that I use. It's a 9-card spread to show the energy of you, someone else, and the energy between you within the Great Mirror. These are perceptions, they can be warped, so please only take what you will from perspective, from your own. This is a highly subjective sort of interpretation, but I work off what I see. Uh, okay. So there's a type of partnership here that is based on a power scheme where one is on top of the other. And there also is collaboration, a very highly stratified, fixed nature towards what you guys are doing together. There are extreme undertones of chemical exchange. As well, somebody has their hand on the actual grand plan, the one who is the underdog in the situation. The overseer is somewhat distant, but not really. You guys are still touching in terms of the connection, which is wonderful. When it comes to the geomancy, there is a possibility that you are divided between what you can see, what you can be aware of, and how your spiritual progression is going, versus the area of your heart, how it is either blocked or set free. There is a levelness when it comes to this, and a divide between the actual core aspects of manifestation, how things are brought into the reality, are very much grounded, but there also is a type of elevation, and it's also a divide between pure awareness and spirituality versus the heart space. So there could be a divide in terms of what desires both of you are trying to bring to the table, and it could be that your heart in particular has an expansive quality to it, but it is being protected by aspects of what happens in the material world, which could be a good thing, could also be something that separates you two in terms of spiritual dimension. Um, Very interesting. Now, I shall be using the 1983 Royal Fez Grand Moroccan Tarot deck for the Great Mirror. Okay, so the undercurrent has to do with the releasing of certain barriers, foundations, the cornerstone, taking that and releasing that in some sort of way. It's a matter of the stratification of the ego identified through the material world and surrendering that. Either you or this person is doing that. There could be the energy of both of you doing this in some sort of way, leading up to a type of balance, or perhaps to a type of co-creation when it comes to equal give and take. Someone is taking the initiative here to actually pull from one of the corners of the houses in order to to give in some sort of way, give to you or to the external world. It really depends. There is a type of hoardy energy here that is now releasing as well. There are structures that are falling, um, potentially. This has to do with trying to create an element of hard work. Um, there's a situation here that this person has been ruminating about for quite some time, and in their power they are releasing one of their resources to reach essentially the Eight of Pentacles, which is the element of hard work. Also, there is the possibility to lose it all if as such a new beginning occurs, but it's after a great deal of rest and relaxation. But there also is a sort of befuddled nature to the communications that happen in the situation, because both of you are essentially haven't rested enough in order to provide the truth that is so desired. Something also is here about the fate of the situation, determinism, also the free will of the Vestal Virgin to sacrifice a certain degree of love in order to transcend and be devoted to oneself. This is your energy, this is your person's energy, or the object of your affection is here. This is the mirror between you two. Okay, so there is a great deal of free will here. It involves really a type of sacrifice, as I've mentioned. It's been the theme or the topos for the lens we're using in viewing the great mirror. Essentially, there is a type of sacrifice, as I've mentioned, difficulty in speaking about this, but the need to work hard, or perhaps to work hard towards an absolute new beginning. But this is kind of difficult for Leo energy, considering there is the element, once again, with the star of sacrifice through the energy of the Vestal Virgin, she who takes care of duty, but at the cost and the expense of the alchemy of love. There's some sort of pouring out, and the earth is thus nurtured with emotions that may or may not be toxic. It's not for us to judge. However, there is an aspect here of it's like an interplay between determination, what happens, what fate brings, and then free will, a combination of the two. But the free will involves a great deal of purging of some sort. It's very interesting. On their end, on the conscious level, they have Three of Pentacles in reverse. This has been mentioned before, the Three of Pentacles. So they are the one who's holding on to a type of scheming when it comes to this situation. But they unfortunately have a bit of a power complex when it comes to this. We'll figure out why. Okay, I think they're willing to work at this, but at any cost. They're making the choice towards no longer waiting, and they're going against essentially the hand, the invisible hand that guides the situation. Because of such, it's a power play, but it could be empowering in some sort of way, considering they could meet you halfway. It really depends. Now, there is also on your end some sort of fear, or this has been coming up a lot lately. The Nine of Swords in the reverse on the conscious level on your end. The way you appear is someone who has awoken in some sort of way, but in this kind of waking up, there is an element of no longer being disturbed by such dreams or such thoughts that have been riddling you throughout the evening. Night has become very important, but no longer does the moon hold its mystery. Between you two, there is the movement towards absolute free will. Okay? It's as if both of you are defying either a psychological component or the master plan in terms of practical logic, grounded logic, as well as anything that is divinated or augured through the heavens. There is essentially a meeting place of free will, which is beautiful. Yeah. If there has been separation, there has been three false promises and three betrayals of some sort. But now there is the energy of essentially waking up and trying to co-create, but this person also has a bit of a power complex when it comes to control issues. Now, on the subconscious realm, between you two, we have the Two of Cups in reverse. And this has been coming up often a lot as well. They have the Lovers in reverse as well. Lovers and Two of Cups in reverse. Meaning that there is an implantation and perhaps a transplantation of the energies from the Lovers to the Two of Cups that is sort of being either suppressed or or transferred or transfigured in some sort of way. The energy shifts from the energy of the sun to the energy of the lion. Okay, so there is harmony here as well. There is a suppressed nature to love as well as the Two of Cups. There is a difficulty sort of making the choice and now making the choice. There's a type of union also hinted at here that's very secret in a way. On their end, they have you have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Eight of Pentacles wanted to show up earlier, and it did, actually. It requires a great deal of sacrifice, like I've mentioned. The motif is the Four of Pentacles in reverse, which is about, like I said, getting rid of the cornerstone in order to approach the Eight of Pentacles from the Seven. So it feels like there's some sort of unfinished business here, and you're trying to work at it, but it's very strange because it's as if you're releasing the scrutiny or the criticism that you have on this situation, especially when it comes to the Seven of unfiltered doubt, of sort of practical sort of reaping of rewards. It wasn't there, and now there is a clarity. There is something, but it's strange because it's through the relaxing of neurological capacities that hold in memory. And you're realizing that some of the details can be glossed over when it comes to the grander picture of things, okay? Leo's coming in strong here. And it's showing up. Also, Gemini is showing up here. The Great Gateway is here, especially with the North Node placement. This person feels driven in some sort of desirous way to actually control and change and manipulate in order to coerce some sort of reconnect or connection. Yeah. Now, on the soul level, we have here the Two of Pentacles on their end, meaning that there is an emotional sort of disconnect, or at least an emotional sort of current that influences how they deal and how they control certain aspects of balancing out certain practical aspects of the situation. On a soul level, they feel like they have two options. At the same time, they're dealing with the energy of the infinity, which is about the null point, really, the focus. There's a lot of focus on this connection, and it requires a lot of balancing on their end, as if they're a juggler or perhaps some sort of magician. They're close, but they're still sort of ascending in terms of that. I don't really like the Three of Pentacles in reverse that they consciously want to do. It means that they're taking shortcuts. As well, there's something about you that is ignoring fears, and there could be like a foolish quality to both your ends that may defy the heavens, but free will is here, and that is a beautiful thing. But for me personally, I just find determinism to be quite comforting, as well as empowering if you know how to sort of ride the wave. Now, there also is, on the soul level here, the Knight of Cups on your end, some sort of endless romance, or on the soul level, on the collective level, it's like you're quite prideful in the way you are a lover. You can be quite radiant as well, quite idealistic when it comes to this. This also hints at a type of transformation that you may be constantly going through in the situation in which the way you court is being possibly redefined through the energy of the King of Swords, which is about truth. Okay, so this connection, it's befuddling. The truth wants to come out, but it's difficult, especially on modes of practicality. The truth almost appears to you at nighttime, but then even then, you don't have enough sleep to actually to recognize it fully. Perhaps you should get better rest in that occasion. But what emerges is essentially the Two of Cups, free will, as well as the King of Swords. And this has to do with a connection that's based on free will, standing by your free will, and really not taking any bullshit when it comes to communications. Also, there is a healing component that's here that is very subtly, deeply ingrained in the subconscious and beyond. meaning that any of the thoughts that you will to be in terms of your truth will be. And those will actually help you to heal and conduce healing in a situation if it requires it. Okay? That is the best I can do for you. Please take care now, and I do appreciate you. Bye now.